Alongside Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price, Volquest 2-minute drill. And Brent, Jermon McCoy and his potential return gets a lot of the buzz. But on this day, Willie Martinez was really loading up the guy that was his Robin a year ago, that being Ricky Gibson.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. He described Ricky Gibson as the most consistent corner down the stretch for Tennessee, noting that McCoy did a lot of great things and had a great year. But he really credited that, said they leaned on Ricky Gibson down the stretch last season for what a lot of things they were doing in secondary. Praised his smarts, his toughness, his improved ball skills. We know he's 20 pounds heavier. I think this is a guy who's playing well right now, and it's clearly a guy Willie Martinez likes. Now, Willie likes a lot. He likes this room a lot. He likes his guys a lot, but he really was loving up on Ricky Gibson big time.
I'm interested to see, like, where they are at corner long term, because it just feels like they're a much deeper unit than they were a year ago. When you factor in Ty Redmond and his emergence, the arrival of Colton Hood, which has allowed Jalen Murray to play over there and play a little bit of nickel with the Boo Carter situation up in the air. It just feels like they got options, and I'm not sure they had the options a year ago.
Well, I think that the options are better. They have more answers to the questions if they get everybody healthy. It changes the landscape of everything if Jermon McCoy is back. And I think there's some positive signs of him hitting the marks moving forward, which is encouraging. That doesn't mean he's going to be ready week one, but I do think that thing's moving in the right direction.
He was out there cutting a lot more today.
Yeah, he's done more than I expected him to do. But if he's available, and then you got Ricky Gibson, and clearly Willie Martinez made it very clear they're comfortable with Ty Redmond. Like you're going to see him in a rotation. They're going to play him early. This is not going to be just a mop-up deal. Because remember, Willie Martinez has been pretty committed to rotating his corners. You're going to see Redmond in that. That's a big plus for Tennessee. Because if you think about it, Austin, you go from you feel really good about two corners last January before the McCoy injury. Since then, they've added two guys they feel comfortable with in Hood and now Redmond being there. That changes a lot about your depth.
And to me, the interesting part for the secondary is the safety position. Andre Turntine, been there, done that. But now you've got Idris Farouk sliding in. Caleb Beasley's trying to learn on the fly. And then a plethora of young freshmen trying to figure out if they can factor somewhere in the two deep. Like, who is that fourth safety for Tennessee? That's going to be interesting to me as Beasley continues to come along and Farouk continues to ascend.
Yeah, I think that is it's going to be a young guy. And I think the question is which young guy is it going to be? And again, that you got to give those guys in the back end a lot of credit. They have rotated those guys. Last year they rotated safeties more than they had previously. So I think you'll see them rotate a fourth in there. I think it'll be three early on. I think the question becomes who does that fourth emerge? What freshman emerges as that fourth? I think the ETSU game would be a great opportunity to get a guy some run there to kind of see where you are to try to create that depth and create that fourth safety.
I will say this, no matter, although we'll talk about the young guys and them having to play, I think it is good for Tennessee that first game, it's not at home, but it's not a true road game either. So you can it's a little easier to be out there in Mercedes-Benz against Syracuse than it would be if you were on the road at a hostile environment.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a fair statement. And again, I think because you do so much in the summer now, you speed up, you accelerate the process of learning it, which allows guys to gain trust with the coaches. But that trust doesn't necessarily translate into road game trust right out of the gate. So I do think the schedule sets up for Tennessee pretty well to help continue to bring young players along.
He is Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price. This is the Volquest 2-minute drill. Tennessee will be back on the practice field tomorrow before having an off day on Wednesday.